So coming off a loss against the Miami Heat last night, the Philadelphia 76ers struggled to get things done on both ends of the floor, as one of their most important players in James Harden was ruled out due to a hamstring injury. And although they suffered this loss, losing 82-99, there were some bright spots and some downsides, obviously. And today, we're going to break it down talking about the Philadelphia 76ers. So what's up? I'm JDC. If you like the video, drop a like down below. Subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. We finally got a Sixers video today, even though they lost, but they've been one of the more enjoyable teams to me, and pretty soon I'm going to be making some new channels covering some different teams. One of the names I've been looking at are the Pacers and the Suns, so those two might become channels pretty soon. Maybe the Raptors. I'm not too sure what's going to be happening, but be on the lookout for that. So if you like the video, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate it. And let's get into the video talking about the Philadelphia 76ers. So without James Harden last night, the Sixers definitely struggled to get things done last night on offense, as they didn't have someone who can really just shot, create, and play make, and who has the same level of IQ that James Harden has on the team. And obviously Tyrese Maxey is a pretty decent playmaker, but definitely not on the level of James Harden and his passing vision. So Maxey played pretty well from the floor, scoring 22 points, 2 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal on 7 of 14 from the field, and 3-6 from 3. Maxey, he struggled to make open shots. As in previous games, James Harden was there to just create more shots, open up the offense, and last night against the Miami Heat, it was really a struggle for Tyrese Maxey to just create his own shot because of how great the Miami Heat defense is. And obviously, Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, I think, was Kyle Lowry even playing last night? I'm going to check the box score. No, he's not. So yeah, Jimmy Butler, PJ Tucker, Bam Adebayo, those are all great defenders right there. Gabe Vincent, I didn't see too much defense from him, but I feel like he is a pretty great defender. And overall, this team, they're a pretty deep team. I'm not gonna lie. Tyler Hero off the bench scored 21. It was a great team to play against, and the Sixers definitely got humbled this game, man. One game isn't going to set you back all that much, but you got to take away some things from most games. And today, or last night especially, the Miami Heat definitely outplayed the 76ers. And Joel Embiid, who we will talk about right now, also struggled from the floor, scoring 22 points, 15 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals on 4-15 from the field, and 0-6 from 3. He did go 14 of 14 from the free throw line, but Embiid struggled efficiency-wise, as, he was kept to 4-15 shooting by Bam Adebayo, who obviously is a great defender. Now, I didn't expect Bam Adebayo to really just lock down Joel Embiid like that, and he really just locked down Joel Embiid. He did a great job. A lot of times the Miami Heat sent over double teams or even triple teams at that last night, and it was just a huge struggle for Joel Embiid to get anything done. And in games where we need more than Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey to step up, last night wasn't one of those games, as Embiid struggled, Tyrese Maxey struggled, Tobias Harris struggled, Matisse Thybulle, most of the starting 5 struggled, and off the bench it wasn't great either. And as Embiid struggled, he was the main focus of the offense, and most of the time, like I said, the Heat would send double teams or even triple teams at Embiid, which would obviously force some turnovers, as Embiid had 4 turnovers. So like I said, James Harden, the Sixers really just missed Harden last night because of how he's able to open up the offense, his gravity, his shot creating ability, and his ability to play make. And without one of those players, it was a huge struggle to get some guys open. Tobias Harris was pretty horrible from the field. He had around 16 points on 6 of 15 from the field. He's been absolutely horrible since the James Harden trade, and I really thought he would thrive with Harden there, especially with all this shot creating and this floor spacing. But he's been horrible, I'm not going to lie. So hopefully, Tobias Harris and Matisse Thybulle can figure things out, because, Matisse Thybulle, he isn't really there to, score the ball. But in 22 minutes, 0-2, only taking 2 shots is kind of unacceptable. And same thing with Furkan Korkmaz, who played 22 minutes and had 2 points. So yeah, the 76ers in terms of depth chart wasn't really great. Now off the bench wasn't too great either, as Georges Niang had most of their points, who scored 9 points on 4 of 11 shooting and went 8 from 3. But everyone else was super lackluster, as the bench is a huge weakness for the Sixers team, and that's something I want to get into really quickly. Is that if you look at the depth chart on the 76ers right now, we got Paul Millsap, Danny Green, Georges Niang, Paul Reed, Shake Milton, Isaiah Joe, DeAndre Jordan, who didn't even play, and Charles Bassey. So yeah, that's a huge downside to the Sixers team, is that they don't really have a true point guard off the bench. Yeah, they do got Shake Milton, but he's going to be inconsistent for the most part, as he only scored 2 points last night. So if they can get a true point guard off the bench, it would really help them, like a Patty Mills or even Isaiah Thomas, who could honestly just help them playmaking and scoring wise. But if we're looking at it right now, they don't even have a true center off the bench. I don't know why they didn't even play DeAndre Jordan last night. He would have been a great option to go to last night instead of Paul Millsap, who played 9 minutes and had 4 points and 5 rebounds. So if I'm, if I'm Doc Rivers, I'm playing DeAndre Jordan the same amount of minutes that, Isaiah Joe, Paul Reed played, but he obviously didn't get any minutes. So yeah, I mean, the 76ers, they aren't really in a tough position right now, but moving forward, if James Harden is going to be injured, I don't know how this team is going to fare against teams like the Miami Heat, obviously, the Chicago Bulls, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Brooklyn Nets, who have Ben Simmons now. It's going to be pretty tough, unless Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid can both start, carrying the offense for the most part. And, Tobias Harris taking that next step, because most of the role players on this team need to start stepping up. And it's really just apparent with the amount of scoring, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, and Tobias Harris all scored in double figures. But then everyone else, like maybe, George Niang, he borderline scored 10 points, but that's basically it. No one else on this team is going to be scoring double figures, and I think they really do need that 6-man on the bench to just help them scoring wise. So the Sixers, they do verse the Chicago Bulls tomorrow. So hopefully we can get James Harden back tomorrow. I think he should be good to go tomorrow. If he's not, then we're going to have a pretty tough time against the Bulls with, DeMar DeRozan being red hot, Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic. They got a pretty great team right there. So hopefully the 76ers can pull out a dub, and hopefully Joel Embiid can finally get out of this shooting slump, because he's been pretty bad from the field in the last 2 games. So yeah, this is the video. I'm GDC, and out. Peace.